I would approach each canvas with a different theme of colors, and many things would have to be working all together simultaneously before I really start that painting. I've been an abstract artist since I was 17 years old. I wanted to incorporate some Japanese music and themes, but I didn't want this show to be just painting Japanese scenes or trees or whatever. I purchased about a dozen Japanese records. I was just going to flow with what came organically to me listening to this music. After COVID, a lot of art equipment, supplies were harder to come by. And so I decided I was going to create these new works with a lot of white background. And because paint was 3 times more expensive, I had to be economically efficient with how I was going to use the paint and the pigment and the colors. In listening to this Japanese music, it was very upbeat, and the music just it just brought in images of happier, bright colors. For some odd reason, I wanted to create something different. So I kept thinking about this diptych, which is the two-part paintings at the far end of the wall that are part realistic, part abstract. So with regards to those two works, I've called them Now and Then. So the now refers to the garden at Momiji, where I've walked around and I've studied all the beautiful plants and flowers, textures and colors. And then the then refers to incidents or images or trauma that I remember from my childhood. I did implement using a lot of paint straight from the tube. And so when I did that, they were accents. It's all done in layers because some paint has to dry before I want to put another layer of paint on it. At first, I was wanting to go back to the past and produce black and white paintings. At that time, I was coming out of a depressive state, so the black and white paintings just appealed to me, and it's what I could do. In my head, I was wanting to do these black and white paintings. It would not come. So then I realized my past was history, like that period in my past. I've turned that page, I just can't go back there. Unless that image comes to me in some form, like sometimes the music might create colors and images, but if it doesn't come to me, I'm not going to start the painting. The JCLS Arts Fund, which I received, had a huge impact on myself and my career. It allowed me to deal with my past, and to create new works was an exciting challenge because it meant that I had to turn a page and not just keep producing work or paintings with my old playlist. Throughout the series of these new paintings, this tree image still shows up on a few of the paintings because the tree theme has stuck with me ever since I went to Japan on my grant. And I was just fascinated and obsessed with these pine trees that were all wrapped with straw and tied up and shaped in different angles to create shapes just like large bonsais. And they have kept coming up in my paintings. I think it's really important to honor the legacy of Japanese Canadians. These grants are just wonderful to heal. It's very important that anyone that can support and speak up and do art, dance, film, poetry, whatever it is, participate in community events to lift up some of the other seniors that are struggling as a community. It's really important because in Canada, the Japanese Canadians lost everything. I feel that the book or the journal that I created alongside the 10 paintings is equally as important as my paintings in the show. Addressing my depression in Japan as a student when I was 21 and some of the experiences I went through, which are covered in the book. It's been cathartic and it's healed me. Once I was sitting next to uh, an older Japanese woman when I was volunteering at a table, and I just mentioned just a little bit of what I had experienced. She started crying, and because she had experienced something similar. So it was important for me to do the book. I'm just one of thousands that have stories that aren't even going to be told.